Well, kind of reached the end of a series of videos, I guess is the best way to put it. Yes, the last video in the new yard of the cars exactly as they were sitting when I bought this place. Now, I started doing videos about 4 years ago, which is right around the time when I bought this place. It's been tied up in an estate for years. I finally got it bought about 4 years ago, roughly. So it's been a long, ongoing process working through this place. But I wanted to document it. I wanted to share it with you guys exactly as I found it, because there was no rhyme nor reason to anything in this yard. Basically, stuff was dumped wherever there was a hole, wherever they could slide it in somewhere. That's where these cars ended up. So there was no rhyme nor reason to anything in this yard the way it was sitting when I bought it. And like I said, this place has been here for years. It actually belonged to an individual who owned my big yard clear back in the 70s. When he sold that yard in the mid 70s, he moved some of this stuff over here on this 4 acres, and then he used it as a retirement job throughout the 80s and 90s. And it was something to piddle with because he was a big car guy. So he just had fun with it as kind of a retirement deal. But like I said, it's been tied up in a state for a long time. I finally managed to get a deal on it. Like I said, right around the time we started doing YouTube, so we started sharing it with you. Well, here we are, a few years down the road, in the back corner, the last video. A couple of Mustang bodies and a Ford Granada to catch in this video. Other than that, we've documented all these cars in here just as I found them. But what the heck, we're here. Let's go wander around a bit, take another quick look at a few of these others. I've started moving some things around, primarily up in the front. I have started organizing an area up there, but I wanted to make sure I got all these cars documented just as I found them. So let's go wander around for a bit before we get to these Mustangs and this Granada. Let's go for a quick walk around, just check some of this stuff out. Old Mercury convertible, early 50s Ford, 53 Chevy. Like I said, just not a lot of rhyme or reason as to how or where this stuff ended up over here. And we'll see a lot of that. Like I said, this is just going to be a quick wander around, give you guys a glimpse. If you haven't caught some of the other videos, be sure to go back and check them out. Anything titled New Yard came out of here. 42 Chevy Coupe. Sitting right next to this thing. A Simca. Malibu. 41 Olds Fastback. 56 Dodge. Another Chevy. So like I said, just not a lot of rhyme nor reason as to how things were in this particular yard. A little bit of stuff in here back into the 20s. Custom hood on this one. And this was a Whippet 6. So there is kind of some neat stuff in here. Obviously not a lot left of that Whippet 6 motor truck, but still kind of cool. 62 Olds, Thunderbird. Chevy pickup next to a Comet that I think had a previous life as a gasser. Rear wheel wells have been cut out of it. Had a hood scoop, or maybe it had stacks sticking out of that hole. I don't know. No motor or tranny left in it, but you never know. Maybe that thing had a big set of stacks sticking out of it. Sitting next to a 35 Olds and a Maverick. And then right here in the middle, several old truck cabs. Just the cabs and front clips. All kind of tucked right here in the middle. Dodge. Cadillac. International. Just kind of a little menagerie of various truck cabs and front clips here in the middle. DeSoto, Valiant, Couple of Oldsmobiles. '64 Impala. And then we got to share this with you. One of the few sections that was kind of somewhat together were all these cool old caddies. '62, '63 Fleetwood, '61 Coupe de Ville, '66 Limo, so I think the former owner liked caddies. Of course, who doesn't like these big old caddies? They're cool cruisers, and they're always pretty neat to check out. Torino. So like I said, not a lot of rhyme or reason to a lot of these cars in here. Some more caddies and a few old Chevys. Several old pickups up in this corner. And along with all these Chevy pickups, right in the middle of the mix is a Willys Aero Falcon. Something you definitely don't see very often. Even an Edsel right there buried in the trees. A few more over here, some more pickups. Old Ford panel truck. And like I said, just literally not much rhyme or reason to how a lot of these ended up in this area. Kind of wherever there was a hole, just like these early Chevy trucks here, wherever there was a hole, that's where stuff got stuck. Cut through here, a couple of Henry J's. I did move these Henry J's so they were in the same area. They were in two completely different areas of the yard. Somebody pickup-ized this one. Old Mercury, pair of Corvairs. Here's kind of a cool old Hudson, a Wasp. Fleetline Chevy. '47 Cadillac, GMC pickup. So you're really getting an idea of not much rhyme nor reason to this stuff. A Kaiser, and there is some more, quite a bit of this odd stuff. Kaisers, Frasers, Nashes, things like that in here. About a '60 Mercury. The last time you saw a '60 Mercury. Not a real common car. '64 Ford. A pair of Frasers. Guess those two cars ended up in the same area. '49 Plymouth Suburban two-door wagon. And now we're getting up here towards the front where you can kind of see where I've started doing some organizing. I just kind of had to pick a starting point and go with it, so that's what I did. Started up at the front corner of the building with Model A's and started working this section here of early Fords. So this is where I've been working. We showed you all this to start with. We started here at the front a few years back with these videos and starting to make a little progress and gain a little ground on some of this stuff. Let's check out a couple more along this front row, and then we'll get back to those little Mustangs and wrap this segment up. Little Rambler. Chevrolet International, 51 Buick, DeSoto, and how about this? A trio of Kaisers. All slightly different. You just don't see a lot of Kaisers sitting around anymore. Not the most popular cars out there, but where are you ever going to find parts for one if you needed them? '53 Chevy, Vega GT wagon. And remember, all this stuff that we're checking out on this quick walk around is in videos as we work through this place. How about a pink Hudson? '51 Chevy, two-door sedan, another Chevy pickup. How about a '59 Edsel? Ford pickup, '51, '52, F2 or F3. And a Rambler and a Nash. Check these cute little guys out. This little Nash is even actually a two-door. Missing a front fender, but a pretty cute little car. How about a '59 DeSoto? That's definitely one you don't see on a very regular basis either. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick walkthrough, and like I said, all that stuff is on videos. We took them 3-4 cars at a time as we worked our way through this yard, checking all this stuff out. So go back, look at any of the new yard videos if you want to check anything else out like that. As always, got any questions, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. That number is in the description part of the video as well. So quick trip, warning around a bit. Let's get back to wrapping this thing up with the final video of the last back corner of the cars in the new yard, exactly as I found them. Well, here we are in the back corner, the last couple of cars. Kind of cars. These first couple in this video, not much here. But we've got a few more after these two. So we're going to start off with this pair of, I think they're 65, 66, or let me rephrase that. Were formerly 65 or 66 Mustangs. This one has no rear clip. Not much of a front clip, no dash, just not a heck of a lot left of this old car at all. Does have a roof clip. I know somebody need a clip for roof clip for a coupe. That doesn't look too bad, but boy, the rest of this car, pretty much gone. But like you said, you never know when somebody's gonna need a weird piece, you know, especially if you've got a cut structure, a car like this that's this far gone, that doesn't have an interior in it where you can get in and cut a little piece out of. That's what these cars are good to keep around for. Obviously, if you have a car that is mostly intact, you've got a ton of work getting them gutted and things like that. If you've got to cut something on them, this car's obviously already been chopped on. So sometimes I don't mind keeping some of these shells just for those little weird pieces that you never know. This next one, not much more left of it than that one, but there's a little bit. Of course, it doesn't take much more to be more left of this than the other one. But this car, once again, missing a quarter panel. The roof is still there. Inside, it's been stripped, but the dash and everything is still in this one. The whole cowl section has not been cut out of this one. Banged up here in the front. And once again, just not a heck of a lot left. But that's how these were when I bought the place. And like I said, they're still good if you would need to chop a chunk out of one of these. Because these cars, being this far gone and already being gutted, that's what sometimes they're good for. Does still have the steering wheel in it. I doubt it's much good, but it's still there. Let's move on to another Ford. The Ford Granada. These cars have been overlooked for years. They are starting to get a little bit of a following. This is a fairly versatile platform. A lot of guys can do a lot of different things with these cars. And because they weren't that popular for so many years, nobody ever kept them. So this is just a basic four-door. It is missing one door striker because this back door will not stay shut. It does have rust in it, but it is a pretty much intact car. And like I said, most of these cars never got saved. There's not a lot of them out there. So the bits and pieces off of a car like this are still definitely going to be helpful for somebody who is building one of these. Inside, it is pretty much mostly intact. The front fenders have some rust and the hood's banged up, but the nose is all still here. And over here on the other side, kind of the same thing. It's here, it's intact, the trim is there. Like I said, not a super desirable car, but with this platform being so versatile, there's a lot of people who are starting to do a lot of cool stuff with these cars. So definitely want to keep this one around for bits and pieces. One more to catch, the last one of the batch. 67 or 68 Mustang Coupe. Now, this car's a little rough too, but fortunately not near as rough as the last couple we looked at. The doors are gone, and there's some other miscellaneous bits and pieces gone. It's got rust in the quarters. It's nothing exotic or fancy. But there again, a lot of these parts, some of the weird stuff they don't reproduce, it's getting hard to find. And some of these coupes are getting hard to find. So this car does still have a lot of bits and pieces left on it that I know are going to be usable in somebody's restoration at some point in time. No motor in it. But there's still parts there. So, as we get stuff shuffled around, we'll get these moved off into a Ford section when we get to this era of Fords and Mustangs. Get them in the row, and they're going to be here in case people need bits and pieces off of them. Because like we always say, once they're flat, they're not really good for much of anything. Well, I guess that's it. The last as is, where is, as found video from the new yard. So, if you thought it was interesting, be sure to check out those other videos. Like I said, it's taken a few years to work our way through this yard, but because we've been doing a lot of new inventory videos as well. Whenever I've had cars come in, we've done new inventory videos on them, and I've had a few hundred cars come in over the last few years. So we've had a lot of cool stuff we've been pumping out there. I know you guys are going to like. So it's taken some time to work our way through here, but I wanted to make sure I got them all done just exactly as I bought this place before I started moving things around. So as I got the front videos done, that's why I started moving around up there first. Hadn't got my way worked all the way to the back until now. So we're finally here. If you got any questions about any of these cars that we just saw, or any of the other 2,000 cars we've got on the ground here at Nobody Else's Auto, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. That number is in the description part of this video. Give me a call so I can get all the information I can from you. Year, make, model, body style, the parts you need. Or if you're looking for a project, kind of a window of what you're looking for in a project. That phone call is so important because there's so many details and so many differences on a lot of these old cars that I thought all that information is critical. With 20 acres of cars, I need as much information as I can get from you to see if I've got something here that can help you out. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. You like this stuff, be sure to check out the channel, Nobody Show. Definitely click that subscribe button. All the other new yard videos are in there, as well as all the other cool stuff that's been coming in over the last few years. You don't want to miss any of it, and you want to check it all out. So, hit that subscribe button, check out the channel, And we hope you enjoyed this one. Finally done. Can't hardly believe it. Worked our way through this a piece at a time, and we're here. We wrapped it up. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the tours through the new yard as we worked our way through it. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more cool stuff coming up. A lot of new inventory been hitting the ground lately. You don't want to miss any of it. Thanks for watching this video, and we hope to see you soon on the next one.